Camera cut out. This is going to be part 2, people. Yeah, as I was saying, I always collect hardbacks, hardcover copies. I would get the paperback of this if I could find all the individual ones. And as far as I know, this is the only one that has a colour, kind of like stock photo on the back. So, yeah, it's a library edition from... That was my local library, but it's not. It's just a withdrawn copy. So yeah. This next one I was really impressed with. It cost me a penny before we start, and when it arrived through the post for a penny, it was a mint US edition of Desperation. Now I know that there's a companion piece to this, which is the Regulators, and I know that with the US version, this is the front cover of Desperation. On the back, there is like a picture frame holding the wall or something with a picture inside it. That is the front cover of the Regulators. Now on the Regulators, on the back cover, there's I think it's like a bullet hole, and you can see the front cover of Desperation through it. So it's kind of like a neat idea, and I do like that. I opted though for a different cover for the Regulators, and I'll explain why in a second. I went for this because I only bought this one recently. I haven't read it. I just remember it being everywhere when I was young. Everywhere I looked for Stephen King, I always saw this exact copy. And I wanted it, so I got it, and I'll read it, but I don't know when. Next. Next up is Everything's Eventual. I've only read one story from this, and it's 1408, and I read it just before the movie came out with John Cusack and I think it's Samuel L. Jackson. It's the only one I've read. This is the UK edition. Disgusting cover. The American one is so much nicer. I would like to get my hands on it. I think it's the UK first. Yeah, it's the UK first. They did a series of these with kind of like minimalistic, and I'm not a fan. The next one up is one of those as well. From a Buick 8. This is on the list to read still because I've read Christine and I would like to read another car-themed King. So I will read it at some point. It's making me sound like I've not read a lot of these. I've read a few. I have read a few. Now, this is... Okay, now I'm going to backtrack. I have read a few. However, The Dark Tower, I own 3 of them. I think it's 3. Maybe 3. And I have Song of Susanna and The Dark Tower, the actual Dark Tower itself, coming through the post. They will be arriving any day. I have audiobooked The Dark Tower, with the exceptions of Wizard and Glass and Wind Through the Keyhole. So, Wolves of the Cala. This is book 4? Book 4. Sure it is. Yeah, Wolves of the Cala, book 4. This is This was a Christmas present. And it is from 2003. I quite like it. I like the way the tower looks on that. It's pretty nice. And then on spine, it's pretty nice. And like before and after through the passing of time. Next up is Cell. This is a first edition. Not one of my favourites by a long stretch. There is a Cusack movie out now. Like, I know it definitely came out in the States. I don't remember seeing it in the UK. Sorry. It'll probably just rock up on Netflix or download or something and I'll watch it. But I've not heard good things. and I'm not surprised it's not the best source material, really. So yeah, kind of outdated as well now. But yeah, it's like King Zombies. Next up, another I haven't read. I do own a copy of The Talisman. It's in paperback, but it is in storage somewhere. I have no idea where. Maybe my dad's, maybe my mum's. So, I don't know. But Black House, I will read it eventually. It's not on my immediate list. I've heard it's mediocre compared to Talisman. So, The Talisman sounds quite good. So, I will, yeah. Yeah, okay. Next up is Dreamcatcher, US first edition. I quite like this one. I like the deer on the front. It's pretty nice. I've read this and I've seen the movie. Didn't like the movie. I thought the book was okay. It's alright. Like pretty much every King, he kind of seems to have problems finishing off. Like his novels, they seem to like wind down in a lackluster way, or they just sort of end. This one maybe a bit better, but yeah, okay. This is, as far as I know, his only screenplay, adapted screenplay in book form. Hardcover, Storm of the Century, US copy. I love Storm of the Century, and I watch it pretty much at some point every year. I know it's not great, but there's something about it that I just really like. I debated whether or not I would include this because it's not a novel, but I like it, so why not? My list, my books. I'll do what I want. I do what I want. So yeah, Storm of the Century. It's got a couple of inside. Find some decent ones. It's like stills from the TV movie in there, and again, picture on the back. Hearts in Atlantis. Again, connections to the Dark Tower. Haven't seen the movie, and I know that it focuses on, I think, only one of the stories in this. It's Anthony Hopkins and Anton Yelchin. God rest his soul. So yeah, this from my discarded. Discarded from my local library. Must have picked that up at some point. 1999 copy of a 1999 book. It's been well used, that one. Up next is a book that I love. Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. There's stuff in it that I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend I do. I am English, British. I don't know anything about baseball really. My family are Canadian. They love baseball. Go Blue Jays. So, you know, I've been and seen baseball like several times at the Rogers. I didn't know what was going on, to be fair. But King loves the baseball. I read it. I think it's really nice. It's quite a sweet story, really. Not scary. You know, just about a girl getting lost in the woods. But it's nice. Good. Bag of Bones. Hate it. Wizard and Glass. Number 5, I believe. Yeah, 5 in the Dark Tower series. Oh, is it 5 or is it 4? I always forget. I'm sure it's 5. I think I know that Wind Through the Keyhole takes place. Is it between? It's between Drawing of the Three and this. I'm sure it is. So this is what happens when you audiobook stuff. You don't pay attention. But yeah, Wizard and Glass. This is the one that you can find everywhere. Of any of the Dark Tower novels, if you're going to come across one in a charity store, like charity shop, thrift, car boot sale, yard sale, or anything like that, it's going to be this. It's everywhere. They must have just like made tons of copies of this. Next up, one of the best of his more recent books, Do McKee, I love this. This is the UK edition with a horrible cover. The US edition is lovely, it's beautiful. I would like to get my hands on it because this is just a bit like, yeah. Read it. It's very, very good. Blaze, I have not read. I will at some point. Doesn't really interest me. I got it for part of my collection. I will read it. I don't know when. Okay, this was picked up for me by my friend Sarah a couple of weeks ago. It cost her 50p, which in American monies is about, I don't know, like 75 cents, whatever you say. And it's mint condition. No one's read this. I don't know. I get the feeling that it was a gift and someone just didn't like it. So yeah, I will read this. Beautiful, beautiful cover as well. I really, really like that one. Very nice. Next up is Just After Sunset. Series of short stories. I believe there are 3 in here. Oh no, there's not. No, there's loads. Cat from Hell, Mute, Very Tight Place, Rest Stop. Apparently, I think Rest Stop's quite good. From what I remember. Which is not much. I don't remember enjoying it. I should probably read this again too. Anyway, I like the cover of this one. Again, clocks, time, short stories. It's a thing, I'm telling you. Okay, next up. Under the Dome. The book's good. I'm not going to knock the book. I fucking love the TV show of this. It is the best, worst show that I've ever seen. It's so mediocre and the acting is so poor that you just have to watch it and love it. Everything about it. Gojo. And also, Nori Forehead. Yeah, it's okay. It's a bit of a beast. I thought that it was probably the largest after it, and I think I'm wrong. I think the stand is larger. This is like 800 and... This edition's 880 pages, and it's a UK first, I'm sure it is. I think my boyfriend picked this up for me. Yeah, first edition. It's quite an epic read though. I mean, it has a map for a start. Any book that has a map means you're in it for the long haul and there's some work to be done. So yeah, there's the map of the town, and there is also a list of protagonists and where they work, where they live, what they do, kind of stuff. It's okay in... What do I say? Like, I like it, but I like the character-driven element to it. I'm not so into the whole extraterrestrial aspect of it. I'm into the politics of the book and what people do when they're shut off and they self-govern, and how people change, what they will do to survive, and like the dynamics of the people and how they shift. I think that's really interesting. It's a good concept. It's like King does the Simpsons movie. We all know that. But it's interesting. And if you haven't seen the TV show, just watch it. Just binge that. There's 3 seasons, like 12 episodes each. The last season, they don't even know what they're doing. I don't think they even know that they turned up to work to act. It's just do it. Also, it deviates like so much. Okay. Full Dark No Stars. I think I was getting this mixed up with Just After Sunset. I think this has got like 3 stories in it. This copy cost me £2. 3 stories in it, I'm sure. And I think that there's an edition you can get now. I don't know if it's available in the UK as well. But there's an edition with a 4th story. 5th story maybe. But then it's also in Bazaar of Bad Dreams, which I don't have. I think that's right. So much to remember. Anyway, this has... there's 5 stories in this. No, 4. 1922, Big Driver, Fair Extension and A Good Marriage. I know that A Good Marriage has been made into a film recently, relatively recently. It's about a woman who discovers that her partner is a serial killer. So check it out. This one is, full dark, no stars. Next up, 11/22/63. I'm just going to start by saying, Americans, you have got it wrong. It is 22/11/63. Thank you very much. Date, month, year, people. James Franco's just starred in I think it's like a Netflix show of 11/22/63. Haven't read this yet. Haven't seen the show. I obviously know a bit about JFK and the assassination. From what I understand, it's about a guy who travels back in time and can stop it, and it's a domino effect kind of thing. 11/22/63, 22nd of November, 63. Next up is... Sorry, I'm just going to have to shuffle some things around. Bear with me. Okay. Wind Through the Keyhole, the kind of unofficial 8th Dark Tower novel, fits between Drawing of the Three. It's like Drawing of the Three and Wizard and Glass, or Wizard and Glass and Walls of the Tower. I can't remember. But it's basically the... Ooh. Fun. Yeah, it's like extra kind of stories that are told throughout those 2 novels, or one of the novels. I forget what goes where, it's so extensive. But yeah, it was written after the last book was finished. Or at least released after the last book was finished. Kind of unofficial companion piece, maybe? Official companion piece, we'll go with that. Next up, Doctor Sleep. I started reading it and I stopped halfway through. I just couldn't get into it. Danny Torrance, 30 years later, he's kind of a bit like his father. He's a little down and out, has a drinking problem just like Dad. A girl is born who has the Shining. She is far more powerful than him, and there are vampires, like psychic vampires, who want to drain the power of people who have the Shining. I should go back and finish it. I will do one day. It's a UK first edition, by the way. I will get back to it at some point. I don't know if it's still got a marker in it. No, I think I've got to page 280-ish, something like that. I'll go back to it. I will finish it. But yeah, it couldn't have been that great because it didn't capture me that much. Next up, I have got one of the newer novels which I've heard is fantastic. I am saving it though until I have all 3. So Mr. Mercedes, and I also have Finders Keepers. I will wait until I have End of Watch before I read them all. I will read them back to back, but I don't want to start until I've got all 3. So So yeah, Mr. Mercedes, I think it's based on a story that Stephen King read in a newspaper or saw on the news about a woman whose husband or fiance was having an affair, and she discovered that he would be at a jobs fair with the other woman. And she waited until people were queued up and she drove her car into them, indiscriminately killing lots and lots of people. And he took the idea and he wrote Mr. Mercedes. So yeah, I'll wait until I get all three. These are both firsts, and I can get a first of End of Watch, like, easy. Piece of piss. Done. And then the last one I have is Revival. So, need to read this one too. I've read more of his old works than the more recent ones, because I kind of felt in the mid-90s he was like lacking a bit, and then I kind of dropped off a bit. But I will try and read some of the newer ones. Definitely 11/22/63. So yeah. Yeah, that is it. My collection. Ta-da! Just went through all that lot. So, thank you for watching. Sorry I cut out halfway through. I'll look at that bit, that's better. Yeah, sorry I cut out halfway through, and I hope you enjoyed it. And, cool. Bye.